Hey, welcome. If you're new here, if you're not new, welcome back, Stitch. My name is Nisha. I art all the time. I do an art on my face mostly, and today I am going in with some Extinct palettes, the Give Me Glow Vintage Rose and the Strobe or Shroud Cosmetics Divinity palette to do a very easy neutral look. In my opinion, it's neutral. I know. Are you shocked? If you know me, are you shocked? If you know me, you know that I do occasionally do a neutral. It's not my go-to thing, but it does happen. It does. And this is going to be super easy. These palettes are extinct. You cannot get them anymore, but they are not the only eyeshadow palettes out there in the world with these kind of color stories. I would just be using the Vintage Rose palette, except that this one, the darkest shade, crumbled and fell out. So I figured this one was quite similar. So we're going to be using that. Let me just find my pinched fluffy brush. And I'm going to go into Freya as my first color, as you know, because I can't start with the transition color or nothing will stick. So yeah, I call myself Nisha Arts all the time. That's all my handles, because when I started, I was mostly just on TikTok and a little bit on, what is going on with that? A little bit on some unblended base. I was posting my decoupage bottles and my, I had decoupaged my old stripper shoes on TikTok, and I wanted to connect with other people. And I thought Nisha Arts all the time was like honest and funny, because it sounds like Nisha farts all the time. And if I've been eating a lot of sugar and dairy, I do. But haven't been eating a lot of sugar and dairy lately. But I still do art all the time. I'm arting right now. I'm arting right in front of you. Maybe it's just this formula doesn't stick. It's okay, I'm not mad at her. So now going in with that blending brush into Rust Rose. But I was kind of thinking and discussing with my triplets. We're not literally triplets, but I was discussing with them and my boyfriend that maybe I should start calling myself Super Niche Hobbies. But makeup isn't that niche of a hobby. But it's just because it throws me off every time somebody's like, if you're into niche hobbies, try this. And I'm like, man, my niche hobbies are taking up so much space already. And I thought it was kind of funny. But then makeup isn't the most niche hobby in the whole world. I am a niche, and makeup is my hobby, therefore it is a niche hobby. I've been a little wanting to rotate some hobbies around and take on a new hobby, and I'm absolutely exhausted with myself for that, because I just had to do it in true Gemini fashion. Going into this one, Ratti, with another pinched, you know what, maybe not that one. I'll go in with this domed brush. But I want to start doing origurumi, and I'm already quite proficient at crocheting and knitting, and I don't know, like maybe I'm having some kind of Geppetto syndrome. Maybe it's midlife crisis, but I just want to make some like a mountain of stuffed animals out of chenille yarn in all kinds of colors and snuggle with them. I do still have my little to snuggle with, but I don't know. I'm just kind of craving stuffed toys lately. And I want to make them. I don't know what's going on with me. So, glitter primer. But there, like I said though, there will always be makeup. I know I originally wanted to post a crochet maxi skirt that I designed myself that I would say is intermediate level on here, because there aren't very many free crochet lace wearables, and a lot of them tend to kind of just be the same pattern regurgitated over and over again. This particular one was fairly easy, but also the algorithm rewards consistency and continuity. Not that, I don't know how, on different days I care more or less about the algorithm and the growth of this channel, but when it comes down to it, I'm kind of a chaotic girly who, oh, I'm going into Copper Rose. I wanted to go in with this and then I went with this. I don't know, maybe it's the rush of the fact that I've been just like digging my spot in my brush in the same spot in that giant pan, and I'm eager to see the pan at the bottom. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe it's because that's freaking gorgeous. They all are freaking gorgeous. I've got like major dig marks in a lot of these colors. I don't think I know how I feel about this anymore. Was it always this subtle? Yeah, I don't know if that color was always that subtle or if it's just not performing as well because I got it in like 2016 or 17. I couldn't tell you, but I'm gonna keep using it until I can't. So going back into the Vintage Rose palette, I'm gonna go into the shade Blossom. I originally wanted to do a crochet pattern for my skirt so you guys could have that project, but I think I'm gonna keep this channel more about the indie makeup and do all my artsy fartsy stuff on TikTok. Maybe, I don't know. Speaking of which, hold on one sec while I do a short. Hey, I did the other eye. So, here we go again. But yeah, I do go back and forth between what I want to do with this channel and growth, and I'm quite realistic with myself. I understand that growth takes a long time, and I'm not exactly of a certain demographic that's gonna get pushed out there very much, and I don't have the best working knowledge of how to do that. But the enthusiasm is there. In either case, I'm really excited to start this origami journey. I think my first project is going to be axolotls. That's what I've got my heart set on. The tutorial I found, it's basically just a tube. And, you know, some bobble stitching. Some add-ons. I have those skills. Going back in here. Here's that brush. What did I tell you? Is this look easy or what? Yeah, I'm using Rust Rose. I wish Give Me Glow would sell Rust Rose as a single. Because I use it for blush a lot too. Which is why it's worn down a lot more evenly than a lot of other eyeshadows I have. It's Baby Shark. And then we're gonna take that, oh, maybe not this one, but this pinched fluffy brush and pull that down more. Oh look, the sun came out. Going back into that pinkish champagne color and get the bottom part of the tear duct and make sure it connects. I consider this palette to be more of a spring palette. I don't remember, I'm pretty sure it came out during the spring years and years ago. It got some weird reviews, and I get it because one girl said she can only really do 2 looks with it. I've done like a million things with it, but I get where she's coming from totally. It is a lot more of a spring toned palette, but like also who cares? I wanted mauve, we're doing mauve. Going for that sickly Victorian child under eye. Which, upon researching that era, that was so sad. Now taking that same brush, kind of getting the excess off over here, connecting it to my outer corner a little, and dragging it down in that motion. One more time. Because we are working with an eyeshadow, not a real blush. And cheek products, unless you're getting cheek products that are higher pigment on purpose so that they show up on deeper skin tones, they usually have a bit less pigment molecule in it, so it'll go on looking a bit more like your skin if you're medium to light toned like me. But when you're lighter and you're working with a more pigmented product, it helps to kind of like knock some of the color off on here, and you can always wash up afterward. And I said doing like the blushiest of blushy look, like we went full 1920s over here, and that's okay. But if you get something that wasn't necessarily made for your complexion and it's a bit higher pigmented, you can knock the excess product off And you can even swirl it around on the back of your hand for a while, or you can dip your brush in loose face powder first and then dip it into the cheek product or the eyeshadow that you're using as a cheek product, unless you want to go like full neon cheeks, which is totally cute, by the way, but if that's not the thing for the day, then it's not the thing for the day. Another extinct one. Can you hear Baby Shark in the background? My bangs don't know what to do. There's something about like having bangs that just kind of makes everything flow together a little more and tones down a lot of mistakes, in my opinion. For the final thing, we're going in with Milani Color Fetish Matte lipstick in Passion. Here we are. Here is our finished monochromatic neutral makeup look for the day. And I'm into it. Thank you, Stitches, so much for hanging out with me today, even though it wasn't like a haul or anything, and even though a lot of what I used you can't get anymore. But if you're like me, there's a chance you've got a lot of things in your collection that you can't get anymore too. And if not, companies are putting out fantastic new things all the time and just kind of rearranging the colors or not rearranging the colors, and it's very like you could get the same thing over and over and over again, and at no point does it get old. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you liked this, give it a thumbs up, comment, talk to me in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already, share if you are so inclined, and thank you so much for watching me today. I do appreciate it. Take care of you. Bye.